Hey guys, how's it going? Today we will be beating Pokemon Red and Blue with Aerodactly. And let me tell you, it was not easy. By far one of the hardest challenges I've done yet. You would think that Aerodactly is a good Pokemon. Well, let me tell you and show you why not. So one of Aerodactly's main drawbacks is its move pool. Aerodactly only learns 4 moves, 6 if you want to count the ones it starts with: Wing Attack and Agility. Aerodactly learns Supersonic at level 33, Bite at level 38, Takedown at level 45, which is not good due to the fact that when you use Takedown, it comes back with recoil damage, and much later on, trust me, that's not going to be something we want. Let's also not forget to mention that Aerodactly also learns Hyper Beam, but at level 54. Now that we talked about its learnable moves, why don't we take a look at its teachable moves. The only noteworthy moves are Razor Wind, Hyper Beam, which can be self-taught at level 54, Dragon Rage, only good at the beginning since it only does 40 damage, Mimic for the Pokemon League or Elite Four, Fire Blast, Swift, Sky Attack, and Rest to heal up. Now keep in mind, Fire Blast, Sky Attack, and Hyper Beam you get towards the end of the game, so it's not really going to benefit us, at least in the early stage of the game, up until towards the very end. So you guys must be thinking, what about Swift and Razor Wind? Well, true, but Razor Wind we can't get till we reach Celadon City and buy it at the department store. Swift, which can be obtained at Route 12, but we will probably already have Bite by that time. Not only that, I need to mention the first 3 gym leaders are 1. Brock, the rock type leader, which we can't really do much against. 2. Misty, the water type gym leader, which we are weak against. 3. LT Surge, the electric type gym leader, which we are vulnerable to still, since our Aerodactly is a part flying type Pokemon as well. But it gets even better. Our Aerodactly is part of leveling up curve, which is not good. In other words, it takes longer for us to level up, so we are going to have to battle as many trainers as we can, unfortunately. So now, after seeing Aerodactly's base stats and its best attributes. Its best attributes are its attack and speed. Its weakest attributes are its defense. So it's finish or be finished. Overall, its stats are okay, and I've seen worse, honestly. But a quick interesting thing is comparing Aerodactly towards Mega Aerodactly. I myself would have thought Mega Aerodactly would have stronger and much better stats, but honestly, they're not too far off apart when you put them next to each other. But anyways, the question remains, is Aerodactly the strongest flying type Pokemon? And who else would you like to see in these solo challenges? What do you guys think? Comment below. At this point in the run, we're finally at rival number 2, and one thing you will notice is that, yeah, I kinda forgot to heal. Hopefully this isn't going to be an issue, at least for when we battle Squirtle. As you see, his team didn't pose much of a threat, at least not yet, but with that being said, we managed to get past rival number 2 and also his Squirtle. One thing we did was fight our rival and also get past Nugget Bridge, since at our current level I believe Misty is still too much for us. After that, we decided to face Misty. So at our current level, Misty is still too strong, but no big deal. I'll give it a few more tries. After a few tries, I almost got past her, but due to her speed, she managed to outspeed and finish me off. With that being said, I went to level up a bit and battle some of the other trainers, and then came back for another shot. But before that, I decided to fight some wild Pokemon as well as Team Rocket and some trainers I skipped on the way to Bill's house. Now that we've came back at level 26, hopefully we can get the W this time. Her Staryu managed to land the water gun, causing me 19 damage. Hopefully we can get past this Starmie, which we do, barely pulling off, and with that being said, we make our way towards SS Boat, where we fight our rival for the third time. So the first Pokemon our rival will be setting out is Pidgeotto. We managed to outspeed and use Wing Attack, finishing it off. Thankfully, he used Stand Attack and ended up missing. Now that could have potentially cost us a reset. We finished the Pidgeotto off with a second Wing Attack. Afterwards, we knock out the Raticate in one shot the Kadabra, but we sort of ran into a issue. I'm out of power points, so thanks to this, we faint and make our way back for a rematch. So this brings me to this. One of the main biggest issues I ran into was in the early game. The issue was power points, since the only actual move I could use was Wing Attack. Not only that, it's not a super strong move, so it pretty much can't always one-shot everybody. It has a 35 base power attack and 100% accuracy and 35 power points, which is good actually. But still, even with that, I still ran out of power points, and due to this issue, it caused me to reset a few times in the early game, sadly. Thankfully, this wasn't a big issue much later on. So one issue I ran into was LT Surge. He caused me to reset a few times. Its Voltorb wasn't a big issue. My problem was his Pikachu and Raichu. In this fight, Pikachu used Thunder Wave, which caused me paralysis and made my chances of winning much lower. Without being said, at this point, his Raichu was too much, so I had to reset. And in this attempt, Voltorb wasn't much of an issue as usual, and I managed to get a crit on Pikachu. Awesome. Now I'm against Raichu at full health. This could not get only better, but my Wing Attack is not doing enough damage, thus being a 4-hit KO and causing his Raichu to finish me off. But I knew I could win, so I tried one more time. This time it took me 3 turns to finish off the Voltorb. Pikachu took 2 turns, but now Voltorb and Pikachu have landed damage onto my Aerodactly. So now it's looking even worse than the last time. I land a Wing Attack on Raichu. Thankfully, LT has good AI and used an X speed on Raichu, allowing me to get a crit on him. Raichu used Thunderbolt, almost finishes me off. I used Wing Attack and somehow managed to get the win, and thus collected me the 3rd badge. At this point in the game, we can go multiple ways, but I've decided to make my way to Team Rocket's hideout. Here, I faced Giovanni for the first time, so I'm currently level 36. I finally learned my first actual move, Supersonic, which I'm going to be relying on a lot, at least in this fight. For those who don't know how Supersonic works, it makes your opponent confused and can also cause your opponent to hit themselves, which is something we're gonna have to really depend on against all his rock types, since we have nothing that's effective against rock type, obviously. And I've also managed to teach my Aerodactyl Razor Wind, which is a TM I bought from the Celadon department store for 2,000 Pokédollars. So Giovanni in this fight was actually somewhat of a challenge, but we managed to win at our first attempt, which is really good. So now that we've beaten Giovanni and we've gotten the self scope, we can go ahead and make our way up to Lavender Town, and where we fight our rival for the 4th time. And at this point, he's not really a challenge, just due to the fact that we're really over leveled. And at this point in the game, rival number 4 is pretty much like in a weird spot, because it's not really over leveled, but he's somewhat, honestly, a little under leveled if you ask me. He gets a big jump at this point in the game right here. This is where he's really gonna pose a threat, but at this point we're already in Team Rocket Tower number 2, so we're fighting Pidgeot and we kind of miss our Supersonic, but no worries. We use our Razor Wind. The downfall to Razor Wind is that it takes 2 turns for it to land, but we've also learned Bite at this point, and that's one of our main moves from here on out. And we took its Growlithe with ease. Now that it's Execute, we took that one out with ease as well due to Wing Attack, And it's Alakazam, we just depend on Bite since it's weak to normal type moves, and it's Blastoise is the real issue here. So thanks to Blastoise, it's pretty much really tanky and costs us to reset. But no worries, here we are again fighting Pidgeot. We just spam Bite, we get the Pidgeot out of the way, we use Growlithe, it's not an issue still, we just use Bite, finish it off. Execute, no worries as well, we just spam Wing Attack since it's weak. But the thing is, Execute landed a paralysis on us and also a leech life, so this is gonna pretty much cost another reset pretty soon. And Alakazam, due to that, outspeeds. So here we go again for a third attempt. Pidgeot, spam Bite, that's the game plan. Its quick attack is not doing much damage, but no issue. Growlithe, okay, we're gonna use Razor Wind this time. We get a crit, one shot. Execute, just gonna spam Wing Attack, finish it off with a crit as well. And now Gary's sending out Alakazam. We have actually managed to outspeed this time, so now we're onto Blastoise. But here comes the real issue. He uses Withdraw twice in a row. This time I'm gonna go ahead and use Razor Wind. Didn't do much damage, cost another reset. Now we're back to Pidgeot again one more time, and I believe this was the attempt I finally managed to get W. We spam Bite on Pidgeot and as well as Growlithe. Now on to Execute, we actually use Wing Attack, and on top of that we get Leech Seeded, which is not good. Alakazam, we use Bite and we outspeed, but we're getting health taken away from us. He managed to land a hit on us, but no worries. This time we're gonna go for a different approach and use Supersonic on Blastoise. Hopefully you can get it to hit himself, but this leech life is taking away our health slowly but surely. So we managed to this time use Wing Attack and get the dub. But honestly, if he were to use one move in general, we would have lost that fight. But after beating him, we make our way towards Giovanni. We use Razor Wind against the Nidorino, finish it off in one strike. Kangaskhan, we use Razor Wind as well, but we actually miss, and its Comet Punch is doing a lot of damage, just not in one strike, but it's overall. He's already hit us about 8 times. We land the crit on him, he used Comet Punch again, and thus he's already brought us to half health at this point, and his right horn is gonna be a problem. So we use Supersonic, we spam Bite, we get a critical, we manage to make him hit himself, which is good. He used Stomped again, we get a crit with Razor Wind, we spam Bite, and he's still a little bit confused, so we spam Bite again, and we managed to knock down the Rhyhorn. Now after Nidoqueen, this is the real issue. We use Razor Wind, we managed to land the hit, we use Supersonic, we managed to make itself get hit. On top of that, he used a Scratch, we're at 8 HP, we use Bite, and we barely managed to get the W here. Which honestly, I was so surprised. I honestly thought I was going to lose right there and caused me to reset. And now we're off to Sabrina. So now that we're at Sabrina, we spam Bite, we knock it out in one punch, and we also forget to heal up, unfortunately. But the good thing is that this is not a problem, just due to the fact that we knock out its Kadabra and Mr. Mime in one shot, as well as its Venomoth. We knock it out in one hit with Wing Attack, but his Alakazam was not a big issue, which is something that was in the back of my mind. And for those who did notice, yes, we accidentally did skip Erica, which I kind of forgot, but that's for some reason that's an issue that I've been having lately. I tend to forget. But no worries, we come back, and one thing you'll notice is that we're really over leveled at this point, so it's not really a big issue. But a good thing is that we did kind of skip it, in other words, just due to the fact that Aerodactly is a flying and as well as rock type. With that being said, we managed to get our 4th badge. On top of that, we collect strength, and on top of that surf, and we make our way towards Koga. With Koga, it's not too much of a big fight as well, but one good thing is that he used Smog, not Toxic, because if it was Toxic, we would really be in for some trouble. But no worries, we knock out its Smug with Bite. We're Aerodactly, we just spam Bite on the Coughing. Now up next is Wheezing, and like I said, at this point, if it was Toxic, we probably would have already been done and cost another reset. But no worries, we pretty much just spam bite, get the W on Koga, finish off the wheezing, and now we're off to Cinnabar Island where we fight Blaine, the fire type gym leader. And with that being said, we just, like I said, we just spam bite, go crazy with it. Up next, the Ponytail. We actually did mix it up a bit here, and we used wing attack again, and we got a crit on it. So thankfully, Blaine used the super potion on Rapidash, but that's not something that's gonna put a wall in front of us. We knock it out. Up next, Arcanine. Spam bite. We use supersonic on the Arcanine, hopefully to get it confused. We knock it out and make our way towards Giovanni, the last gym leader. Now this is gonna be somewhat of a tough cookie. We try using supersonic because it's something we're gonna have to depend on majorly in this fight. Thankfully it hits itself. We use Razor Wind. He's no longer confused, and I think I went for another supersonic at this point, which I did. He used Tail Whip, just lowering my defense, which is not good. We spam bite, but thanks to him lowering my defense, it activated the badge boost glitch, and we knock out his Pokemon. We use Spite on the Needle Queen, managed to get it to flinch, which is good. It was a 2-turn attack. We use Bite as well. We get a critical on the Needle King. Use Trash. We knock it out. And then Rhydon was one of the biggest concerns I had. On top of that, we kept on using supersonic. We get it confused. We use wing attack. Did no damage absolutely. And thanks to supersonic, it's causing to hit itself, causing more damage than I myself am doing. He used Horn Drill. I'm unaffected. He hits himself again. He used Stomp, which I'm about to honestly die. Thankfully, he used Tail Whip, and he gave me the churn, and I got to knock him out, collecting us our 8th badge. And now we make our way towards the gym Elite Four. But before that, we had to fight the champion. Not yet the champion, but soon to be. And here we're fighting Rhyhorn, still not evolved into Rhydon, which is good. But this, without being said, Rhyhorn didn't pose much of a threat, surprisingly. Now he sends out Growlithe. We use Bite. We use Bite again. We use Wing Attack actually. We use Wing Attack on the Execute. Knock that out as well. And since it's within KO range, we just stick to Bite. With that being said, we reached the Blastoise at full health, which is one of the most surprising things because I had to reset on this fight a couple times, and without being said, we surprisingly managed to knock out the Blastoise and level up to 54, where we forget Razor Wind and we learned Hyper Beam. So one thing I'm gonna mention is that I ended up picking up the TM Mimic, and on top of that, I cannot stress you enough how many times I've tried to battle this lady and come out with a W, but unfortunately I could not. I probably spent about 2 hours just facing her, and it got to a point where I was just like, you know what, I give up. I'm spamming Hyper Beam on all her crew, and it actually ended up working, and I taught Aerodactly a few different moves. I got Fire Blast from Blaine, and on top of that, Sky Attack from the Elite Four cave. And with that being said, I managed to beat Lorelei, and when I did, I cannot tell you, I was in disbelief. I was honestly surprised that I did. Like I said, it took me about 2 hours. I was stressing at this point, and I just wanted to somehow get this over with. I used all my rare candies, and I got to level 65, and thanks to that, it really didn't benefit me as much as I was hoping it would. But we're here facing Bruno. We use Sky Attack on all his fighting crew, managed to knock him out. Now Onyx, we use Supersonic, and I think we used Fire Blast here, which we did. And on top of that, right here, I believe we used Sky Attack. In other words, we finished off the Sky Attack, and now up we got the Machamp. No worries, we use Supersonic, and I used Fire Blast to finish it off, which honestly I should have just used Fire Blast on the Onyx and used Sky Attack on the Machamp, but no issue. And this is where we teach our Aerodactly Mimic, and on this it did take me a few tries. It took me about 2 or 3 attempts. We taught a little bit of trial and error. I used Mimic to steal off Hypnosis from the Gengar and pretty much use Hypnosis on all his crew except Golbat, of course. It was a easy one-shot KO with Hyper Beam. Hunter tried using Dream Meter while I'm awake. Yeah, you're not gonna take my dreams. But anyways, use Hypnosis on the Arbok, and then we go for a Hyper Beam, which we got a critical on, and we actually managed to 1 KO it as well. Gengar, we use Hypnosis, and we use Sky Attack and finish it off. With that being said, we're now off to Lance, and I think we actually did this on our first attempt. So we use Mimic, and on Pokemon Yellow you can get Ice Beam, so for some reason that was really what I was thinking, getting Ice Beam off the Dragonair. But on Red and Blue it's a little bit different. It has Hyper Beam, Slam, and Agility, and I forgot the other move, so when I did, it was too late to go back. And so look, there's my twin. At that point I was like, I'ma just take the Hyper Beam. I used Hyper Beam, and from there we're off to the Dragonite. Use Sky Attack. We got a critical on him, which was surprising. And on top of that, now off to Gary. And this I'm gonna do a live reaction so you can see what I was going through. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy. Pretty sure to leave a like and enjoy.
Oh my god. Oh dude, that was hilarious. I can't, that was hilarious. Come on, we're so close at this point, dude. Like, oh my god. Oh, it's blasting. It's gonna be the best for me. I know it. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my! Holy! Yo, that's crazy! Yo, what? Oh my god, bro! Dude, this Elite Four was hard, dude. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god, man. Yo, man, that Mimic. Ah, my god. I pulled some terrible moves with it, but it worked out for the best. Oh, shoot.